Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, my YouTube family, whenever you're watching this video. First, please like, please subscribe to the video if you would. To my subscribers, as always, thank you for your support and for your prayers and for just hanging in here with me. For my new subscribers, welcome. Thank you for finding something in me that was interesting or possibly entertaining. So I thank you. If you have not subscribed, please consider subscribing to me as I'm able to put out more videos because, you know, I have the time now since my father had passed and everything. Even though I'm working, I have time to come and present more content. But I'm going to, as it's not a laughing one. I'm sorry, guys. I thank you guys for enjoying the laughter, though. But I wanted to come to set just one or two things really, really straight because I think what happens in this arena of YouTube, people people try to place things upon you which is not you or not your intent, and I'm guessing it's because it's the desire to begin beefing with you. I'm not really here for the beefing as far as me being a part of it, going back and forth, yelling and all this other kind of stuff. Nothing's wrong with it if that's what you like doing, but that's not for me. So let me clarify some things because I think for the most part, and this is true in any aspect of our lives, those things or those people that we care about or we like, regardless of what they say or do, for the most part, we'll ride hard for those people, regardless of if they're saying things that may be wrong or may be inconsistent or maybe even a lie. Because we like them, we'll accept that and we'll move on. Um, Someone sent me a comment stating that number one, that I wanted to be the next pastor of YouTube. No. And I won't keep saying this over and over and over again, but I'm letting this stance be known. It's not my desire to be the pastor, the prophet, the elder, the bishop, the apostle, the deacon, the prophetess, the missionary, the choir director, the singer in the choir, the soloist of the beef sector. Let me get that straight. I do not desire to take away anybody's title or whatever title that they now possess on YouTube. I would pray that in my rational way of thinking, that I would aspire to be more than whatever this is of YouTube. Number one, it gets me nowhere as far as my relationship with God, nowhere at all. Um, God has not instructed me to do anything outside of what I'm doing now and what He's leading me to do. So that's not important to me. It really isn't. And for people to say that I want to be the pastor of YouTube, I really don't know where you got that from, but I understand why you're saying it because again, we're in the beef sector, so it's okay. One thing I've learned in my walk of life, in my at least 30 years, it took me 10 years to really get it. After the 10th year, I got it. That people will pigeonhole you or try to place you somewhere because that's where they feel they want you to be, or that's where they feel you think that you want to be, but that's really not my desire. And if you watch my videos, present, past, and present, even now, today, I don't desire any of that. I don't desire to be somebody with a title on YouTube or be someone who would lead the people into whatever on YouTube. No. My desire, my aspirations is they're what I'm doing now. I have finally got a great job. The people I love, where I work, I love so far. Um, I've always wanted to be a person to want to work for those things that I want to obtain. But if I had to work, which in most cases many of us do, let it be a place where I enjoy going, where it's not stressful, where even though we may not become besties and all that, but let me at least be able to coexist with my coworkers, have a pleasant work environment, and that's what I got. Thank God, God gave me what I desired. With the good pay, great benefits, all of that. So I don't have great big aspirations for YouTube. I really don't. If it comes, however it comes, to God be the glory. If that's what He so ordained to be, but that's not my biggest aspiration. So no, I don't want to be the pastor of YouTube, and I don't want to take Jay Wilson's place. Please understand and know that I don't. Um, I I don't know how else to put it. I'm I'm satisfied where I am in God. I want more because there's, like I said, a part of me who hungers for more, who wants a better understanding of things of life, my purpose. If you so happen to be in the vicinity of me trying to find out what that is, then to God, so God be it. He ordained it to be so. I tried my best not to question God's authority and God's approval of things that happens in our lives, because nothing can happen in our lives unless He allows it to be for whatever reason. So that's really not a big thing for me. Um, I try to present myself as sincerely as I possibly can when I come on YouTube. Whether I'm laughing, that's sincerely laughing. I mean, that's sincere. And then right now, to present myself the best way that I possibly can. Um, I refuse to get into this little banter because I'm angry with something that has no bearing on how I live or my life or the blessings that God has for me. What you do and what you say has no bearing whatsoever on what God has for me. So I will let you say those things and let you live in that moment of in your mind to think, because I'm here or because I'm in this area or because I speak upon something. Number one is I'm hating, no. And I've already gone through that. I'm losing, no. Well, I'm losing based on those who say I'm losing. If again we look at what they have versus what I have, if we're looking at it from a natural standpoint, because many people in this arena of YouTube are looking at it from a natural standpoint. So, as I said in my other video, seems to me the ones who are winning have nothing, and those who are losing, God is blessing abundantly. So I'd rather be a loser and stay lost, if that makes sense. But it's not my desire to do anything outside of the will of God. And let me say this, because I'm not, a lot of people say things, proclaim and profess and confess things, and I'm not trying to be anything more or less than who I am. And I can't become something that you want me to be for the sake of beefing or for the sake of being in this area of YouTube. That's just not who I am. And it may be different if I wasn't already set in my ways or set in a certain standards that I don't try to push on anybody else, but that I live by to find the happiness and joy within myself, in my servitude unto God. But those things that the person, well, two people mentioned, um, that's just not me. That's not who I am. And I almost got offended, and I thought, no, 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 no. That's not worth you getting any type of defense, because number one, God knows who you are. And I think a lot of people forget that. Regardless of who you are, what you say, what you do, how you present yourself, God knows who you truly are. And like I said before, I don't think a lot of people believe that there is a God, but God knows you inside out. He knows what they say. The Bible says He knows every number of the hairs that's on your head. So He knows you immensely better than you know yourself. Um, I'm not the voice of Christianity of YouTube. I just present how I live and what I live and what I believe to you. What you do with that in any situation or in any case, that's on you. Because the only thing God requires me to do, if I'm to be a minister of God or whatever, is to live a life that's pleasing to Him, number one, and that lives a life that will draw others to Him. And that's what I try to do, not just on YouTube, even on this job. The people there, um, they give me such compliments, and I'm thinking, y'all don't know me. They said, but no, the way I carry myself and the characteristics that I have, and all of this, the calm demeanor and the way I speak shows that I'm a man of honor. And I didn't ask for that, but thanks God. To God be the glory again. It's how I live my life here on YouTube. There won't be variations. So for you who said I wanted to be the pastor of YouTube, no, um, especially a fake one. So I'm not going to be on here this morning or right now, calling you all kind of names and raking you through the coals and all this other kind of stuff. And then Sunday try to come on here and sing and give you a message. Because again, and I'll stand by the word. Like I said, I'll stand by what I know as far as my understanding of the word to be true. I'd rather you be hot or cold and not lukewarm. So I would prefer just to be who I am in God and present that part of me to you. Outside of that, it's not important. So I'm saying it again. I do not want to be pastor, or anything of a religious nature as far as a title on YouTube, especially in this area of YouTube, the beef sector. That's not my desire. Um, I won't change who I am or come out of a bag, just to make certain people, possibly happy or support me. No, it's not that important. Because in my mind, it's always been, well, it's been since let me say this, it's been since I've been saved, so to speak. It's in my mind that it's easier, even though the devil fights you and the enemy fights against everything about you. It's easier, though, still for me to want to be in the perfect will of God. And that's just the bottom line on that. And I'll take a firm stand in that always. I refuse to sell out who I am or who I aspire to be for a YouTube channel. It's heavier than that. And I'll say this, once you've had a relationship, once you've walked with God, and if God has touched you in any type of way in your life, it's for me, it's difficult to just turn your back on that and walk away. That's why I've had struggles with that, because I've had different things in the Bible that has come up that I've questioned, because again, I don't see it as the Bible has written. And I mean, they say the Bible is not written literally, it's allegorically. So what we read, especially in the Old Testament, whatever, those things didn't actually happen. They're just like a storyteller. But in my mind, in my heart, I took it as the infallible written word of God. That's exactly what took place. So it has not failed me as far as that part is my learning. It has done nothing to do to bring anything negative to me uh, in that aspect. So I choose to stand on that and believe on that. The things I question are the things that dealing we're supposed to have this power in the name of Jesus. We can do this and that and the other, and those things I don't see, which is my biggest issue. But I will still believe there's a God. There's someone higher than me. And I'll say that in my serious videos because I do believe that. Um, and nobody can just about take that from me. I've had cancer. I've survived. I've been in fights. Yeah, I mean, years ago. Somebody had a gun, beat me in the head with a gun, and I was beating him with a hammer. It's funny now. It wasn't funny back then, but I was the type back then to where it was easy for me to fight and stand and holler and scream and yell. And then if you came, you know how you see on reality TV shows now, how people get all up in people's faces and get out, be all up in there. You couldn't do that to me, because that to me that was meant that you want to fight me. So we would fight. So, and that's how my parents raised us. Don't let anyone disrespect you and all that, but don't, let them talk, do whatever they want to do. But as long as they don't put their hands on you, you're good. I can see you defending yourself. I would never have a problem with you defending yourself, but I would always have a problem with you starting a fight or hitting someone, for over words. So that's how all of us was brought up. Sadly, my eldest brother didn't care. You could just look at him wrong, and he ready to cut your throat. So that's always one. There's always one or two in the bunch, but in my case, I just don't see and the concept of losing something so real to me, and something or someone that'll be there when the whole universe turns against me, possibly. There'll still be that one who is the creator of everything that will still be with me, that will still guide me, and that will still lead me. So it's really not worth it. And I guess I do place more uh things on emphasis on my soul and my spirit. So once you go through enough stuff, and once you've gone through a lot of things in life, circumstances, and as you say, trials and all the kind of stuff, and you see the hand of God moving or working through those things, and there are lessons that you learn, and there are things that you are taught, you don't just throw that away easily. Not many people who backslide because it was a simple thing. A lot of people struggled with it. And so it's not something I desire to struggle with. especially to say that I'm the king, the pastor, the queen, the whatever of YouTube. Again, um, why did I start to be a content creator? I don't know. I don't question that because God will tell you or God will show you. I'm an extremely introverted and shy person. I really am. And in real life, on here I talk a lot, but I really am. And so for me to be in this vicinity of YouTube and doing this particular type of thing, it's new to me. It's odd to me because it's not my personality, but God knows best as far as that's concerned. But the other thing is, we will always forget, again, the things others do or where the actual beefing started. And because of that, it's easy for us to point fingers and to try to degrade somebody else. Again, and I'm going to say this just as boldly as I'm on this phone. And like I said, I've been here 9 years YouTube, Beef Sector 2018, 17, 18, whatever. I don't know when it was pinned. I'm sorry, I'm tired. I just got off work. When it was pinned, the Beef Sector, I'm not sure, but I've been here the whole time. Pre-VS, VS, after VS, all that. So it's amazing to me that's because, like I said, you dislike somebody that you automatically feel it was because of them that these other people are attacking them or saying things against them. And you either don't know the history or you refuse to accept the history of what really happened. Because I use one example in Tim's case. Tim didn't come for Fight Babe. She came for him. Club Chat didn't come for Tim. They came for him. Maturish and all those other ladies, they came for him first. He never laid his mouth on any of them until they came for him first. And as my understanding of the beef sector, then when you speak on me, you come and say something to me, then I'm going to respond. I'm going to, answer you. If you ring my doorbell, I'm going to open it and I'll respond to you. So it's not a matter of they started with her. She started all most of the beef that she's in. She started it. She started it with Tracy. She confessed that she started it with James, and some of you still won't believe it that she started it with James, but she did. She said it. She started it. She started dragging his children, but because of the concept is you dislike or hate Tim, James, or anybody else who certain people are arguing with. You don't care what the truth is, and that's just the truth. I don't have a problem if I knew for a fact somebody that I like started something, they started it. That's just the bottom line. There's no way around it, whether I like them or dislike them. But especially to those people that I like, if they started it, they started it. But certain people who are being attacked or being talked about now um, by this queen of YouTube, she started it for whatever reason. I'm guessing just like with Jay Wilson, the coin, the pocket, the purse was drying up. And in order to become relevant again, and in order to get the coin that he needs or that they need, they decided to go back and attack some of the people that they were either beefing with or to start a new course of steak, of beefing hamburger meat with other people. It's almost like it's not rocket science. After you've been there for a while and you understand how things work, you understand the concept or the motive behind it. That's all. Phi Baby can only stay relative by talking about the people that she talks about constantly, over and over and over and over. And but the irony of all that is she started it. So there was a purpose behind her starting those beefs. And the only thing is you don't have anything else to talk about and to be relevant, to you know, keep the relevancy of who you are, I guess on YouTube as the queen. That's the only thing I can see. God is not getting any glory out of anything you're doing on YouTube. He's definitely not getting the glory out of you prophesying to anybody or being the prophetess. God is not getting glory out of anything Jay Wilson does because his motives are always bad. His motives are wrong. They're for him. They're not for the edification and the glorifying of God at all. They're not. So he's being glorified. He's getting praised and he's getting all of the whatever. But he said it himself. It's all for a coin. See, the thing is, I'm not basing anything on what anybody else has told me. Everything that I base my anything on is what the people say when they do their videos. And my perception could be one thing or whatever, but what you say out of your mouth, I can only judge by that or go by that. And so, um, again, my loyalty, when you get right down to it, lies to God. Even when it's difficult, my loyalty still lies to God. It doesn't have anything to do with YouTube. And it's almost as if people, can you separate your life, or separate who you are, or separate the world or universe? Can you separate all of that from YouTube? And it seems like many of you cannot. And it's almost as if YouTube is the new God for some people. I haven't gotten there yet, and I pray I don't get there. Um, I find it a blessing to finally be able to be those things, I guess, what everybody else aspired to be. I thank God for that, because I said, if I'm to be here on YouTube, and if I'm to serve any purpose, then He would have to show me that, and then He would have to get the glory out of that, because it's not about me. It never is about me. It's about touching somebody else or leading somebody else. How can you say, from the dark to the light, or to the truth? And that's just the truth. Um, and I won't get on here and say I'm sincere. I will let you see my passion for yourself. Am I being consistent for yourself? Prayerfully, I'll never get mad again as I was the other day, because yeah, I was kind of on like eight, you know, with Fab Babe and her lies, because at some point the lies need to stop. You know, she's talking about being on the show and Tim not getting paid. He should have stayed on the show. She hadn't gotten paid. Nobody got paid. Well, crab legs and steak and shrimp and I guess they feel a lot of black people, all they want to do is eat. But give me the money, I can buy my own groceries and cook it myself. Better yet, I can have it delivered already cooked. Just give me the money. Let me decide what I want to do with it. So nobody got paid. She said that Tim wanted to, he couldn't travel because he was sick. No, he wasn't sick. He just said because of the condition that he's in with his immune system, and COVID was running rampant. He didn't want to take any chances of catching anything when he went there. Outside of them who went there and, laid in the bed with each other, licked on each other, laughed on each other, salivated on each other, rubbed on each other, slid down on each other, no mask, all in each other's faces. So you would sell or give up your life, literally, for nothing. That's what I said on a previous video. All of this is for nothing. It's for nothing. It will warrant you no glory, no praise, no honor, no, it will garnish you nothing. And I wish God would show me what is it that they are aspiring to be, and what is it they're trying to gather up or become in this YouTube thing. Am I losing something? Am I missing something? Because if I am, please show me. I want to understand it. I don't want it. I want to understand it, because I don't want anything to take precedence over my relationship with God. I'm not religious by no means. Even when COVID is, if it ever is gone or removed, I wasn't going to a physical church then, because I got somewhat tired of the rhetoric and somewhat tired of the routine. And then, you have to be careful, because there are some who God has called, whose life is just as screwed up as mine. And I can't be in judge of that person, because the gifts and the calling of God are without repentance. Some of you have been called. Many are called. Many of you have been called. But because the call doesn't warrant you greatness or warrant you acknowledgement, it's almost like Satan wants to get get the glory, because it doesn't give you the recognition you crave. You won't do it. But then at the end, you lose your soul. And then for me, it's just not worth it. And I'm not talking it from my lips. I mean that from my heart. It's just not worth it. So I'd rather walk in the walk that I'm walking, be the nobody that I am. And when I say that, I don't mean I hate myself. I mean being being insignificant to God's significance, because that's what it's all about. It's about living your life to where He gets glorified and He gets the praise. It's not about me getting on here, making up stories, making up lies, um, trying to find where you live, all this other stuff for what? It's not that crucial. So I just came to reclarify that again. Number one, and like I said, people think you're hating on. No, I'm not hating on Five Baby. I'm not hating on Sean Bradley, Club Chat. Lotus Blooms, none of these people. I'm not hating on any of them. It's difficult for me to even see her as being somebody that's truly spiritual, as foul as her mouth is, and as drunk as she stays. But you're a spiritualist. That's hard for me. But I'm not judging her. That's just hard for me to conceive. You know, one minute you want to teach people about peace, and the next minute you bring in havoc. To me, that's straddling the fence. But that's to me. You see what I'm saying? I'm not placing my perceptions on anybody. Believe what you believe, judge what you want to judge, think how you want to think. Because that's what the thing is about the Bible. God gave everybody the ability to think for themselves, to think for yourselves, and then go from there. So I just wanted to come back and clarify that. I know I look rough. I just, as soon as I got off work, I came and laid down and said, let me do this video, because these type of videos, it'll be because it's in my heart to do, and I feel it in my spirit to do, and I feel led to do it for whatever reason. And I don't know if anybody get anything out of this aspect of me, but it's just important for you to search yourself and seek out yourself and wonder if number one, if you're really happy where you are. Number two, if you had a relationship with God. I'm not talking about joining the church and become a denomination. I'm saying, do you have that personal one-on-one relationship with God or with the universe, however you want to look at it? And then trickle it down to what's really important. And when things get really bad and things get really tough and things don't go your way and sickness comes up on you and all this kind of stuff, who will you be able to turn to? It's seven of us as far as the kids are concerned. But my father only had one person that I wouldn't say he could turn to, but when he needed was there, and that was me out of seven. And they abandoned, all six abandoned us. It was just he and I the whole time he was sick. So, you know, it's not worth me losing what I have and then not gaining what I need to gain to get on here and hate on anybody for a false life. It's not worth it. It never has been and it never will be. But I just want to clarify that no, Jay Wilson can be the pastor of you. Whatever y'all want him to be, he can be that. God bless him. Phi Baby can be the prophetess, the queen, or whatever she desires to be. She can be the Sean Bradley can be the king of YouTube. God bless him. D. Ramsey can be the Lotus Bloom or Lotus Blossom or whatever it is of YouTube. God bless all of them. I don't want any of it. I don't aspire to be any of it. There's nothing in there for me that will enrich my spirit or enrich my soul or cause me to prosper. Beloved, I wish above all things that thou mayest prosper as thy soul, my soul prospers. We protect the wrong things, but that's okay. Eventually we'll wake up, but then when we wake up, will it be too late? When we wake up and realize what's really important. That's all I had to say, guys. I hope you liked the video in spite of. And if you have not subscribed, I hope you will subscribe. And I hope there is something that I've said or I can say in the future that will bless you and that will make you think of what's really important regarding life and the life you live, okay? Know that I love you, but God loves you so much more. You guys be blessed and have a beautiful week. Bye-bye.